Welcome to Community Connection. I'm Cindy Bravos. Not many people celebrate their 65th birthday by cycling 6,500 miles across the country. This March, Barrington's own Bob Lee will kick off his journey to raise awareness and funds for the challenges faced by cancer patients, ALS victims, and families faced with difficult end-of-life decisions. We now welcome to the show Bob Lee. Thanks for being with us today.
Well, thank you, Cindy.
What an undertaking as you turn 65 to take a journey like this. What prompted this decision?
Well, it's all about people. And if you think that there's over 10 million survivors of cancer out here, there's over 30,000 people living with ALS at any one point in time. That's the motivation. It's all about people and trying to pay back and give back to the community. And that's what enriches my life.
And there are a lot of different ways to bring attention to these causes and raise money for these causes, but to embark on a trip of 6,500 miles to mark your 65th birthday, where did you come up with? You've done a ride before. Tell us about your first ride.
The first ride was done in 2001, and it was 3,200 miles from San Diego to St. Augustine, Florida. And it was a ride for two reasons, ALS and hospice, awareness for hospice on a national basis. The idea came from a conglomeration of books, actually 4 books. One was Tuesday with Maury, which had a great impact on me while I was working. And Maury Schwartz says, pay back to the community. Another book was John Steinbeck's book, Travel with Charlie, where he traveled the back roads with his dog Charlie, and I always wanted to do that, and that was always a dream. Bob Buford's book, Halftime, was a special book of what do we do with the rest of our life. We work the first half of our life for success, and the second half of our life is for significance. So it hit me at the right time. There's a saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will come, and the teacher of Maury Schwartz came into my heart and spurred me on to do things and pay back and pay forward. And so that's where the ride came from. It's one of the most meaningful things I did in life was the first ride, and I hope the second ride is twice as long. And hopefully it will be twice as inspirational to a lot of people.
Now, along the route, on your first ride in 2001, you met many patients with ALS that touched your heart, and that is a cause of yours. You are a board member on the ALS Les Turner Foundation.
I became a board member after the first ride. I did meet some wonderful people, and Andrew Fleeson in Arizona. Andrew has had ALS longer than anyone I personally know. Usually the life expectancy of someone being diagnosed with ALS is 2 to 5 years. Andrew Fleeson has a saying, you can be given a fatal diagnosis, but that doesn't mean you need to stop living. And he's a perfect example of it, because Andrew has lived for 2 decades now with ALS. And I just saw him, I helped him get from international terminal to domestic terminal at O'Hare. He can't walk, he can't use his arms, but he traveled by himself to England. Does that a couple times a year with a lot of help and assistance on people's parts, but he hasn't stopped living.
That's a beautiful story. You've set a goal of $195,000.
Correct.
And you also have a special challenge that's been posed to you by the Duchossois Foundation. Tell us about that campaign.
Well, the whole theme of the ride is taken on for 65. It's riding 6,500 miles, age 65, raising $65,000 for 3 different charities, or the $195,000 you refer to. And little trivia, we graduated in 1965. My wife and I got married in 1965, and the last bike ride was 65. Well, I had the opportunity of visiting with Kim Duchossois, who is just a wonderful person. You know, her heart is this big. And, you know, we had breakfast together, and Kim said, tell us how we can be supportive. So we came up with a challenge 65, and that is that we need to find 650 donors between now and March 15th. And if we do, the Duchossois Foundation will contribute $165,000. So it's just amazing. And if we can reach that goal, and you look at it and viewers will probably think, well, that shouldn't be that hard, but it is to get people to write out a check, and I hope people will take the website off of this broadcast and make note of it and go on there. They can make contributions, but we need to come up with the 650 people to get the $65,000.
And even if it's only a $10 donation,
Correct.
if they can at least count toward that 65.
Any amount will make a difference.
What a great life story.
Well, it's
Thank you.
The challenge is really from the Dutchy Swab Foundation, which is adding new dimension on this ride.
But what a great way to look at the second half of your life. Thank you for sharing your story with us today, Bob. And we wish you good luck. We'll follow your travels.
Appreciate it.
3reasons.org is the website. Don't go away. We'll be back with more Community Connection in just a moment.